There's devastating explosions in Beirut. 16 people have been detained by the Lebanese authorities in connection with that deadly explosion. It claimed 145 lives, injured thousands, and has left hundreds of thousands homeless. To get the latest, let's cross to CBS Foreign Correspondent Imitiaz Tyab. Good morning to you. Imitiaz, I've been looking at some of your pictures and what is available. I mean, just extreme devastation. Tell us what you've seen and been able to find out.
Jane, this is a really hard one for me. I called Beirut home for a number of years. This is a city I love. This is a city where I have very good friends and very fond memories. To arrive here less than 24 hours ago, to a city on its knees, I've never seen anything like this. It's as if Beirut has faced the sustained conflict over a period of years. But the reality is the damage that we're seeing, the destruction that we're seeing, the devastation that we're seeing happened in a matter of moments. Within a matter of moments, 300,000 people were made homeless. Over 100 people were killed, and over 5,000 people were injured. This is a staggering loss to a city that was already suffering under the weight of years of neglect which pushed this nation and really pushed this city to the brink of financial collapse. We have to remember in the background of all of this is an extraordinary situation in which Lebanon's currency has been devalued by 80%, in which its banks have fallen in on itself, and now the city itself has fallen in on itself.
I mean, as you say, I mean, just quite the most extraordinary place. I mean, who doesn't love Beirut? It's dynamic on so many levels. You talk about the cruel indifference of those leaders who've really helped push it to the brink and leading to what we saw. Talk us through that.
Absolutely. What we have to remember is that Beirut was in the grips of perhaps one of the most horrifying civil wars of its time. From 1975 to 1990, this nation was riven by sectarian violence. 150,000 people lost their lives over that period. Many Lebanese fled the country, and this really was just a nation that was a war zone. 30 years ago, that war ended because of an agreement that was reached by all the warring factions to create a government drawn along sectarian lines. You had the Christians, you had the Sunnis, you had the Shias, and you had the Druze, which is a Muslim sect. They were all essentially given roles within the government, and what they did with that power was essentially turn Lebanon into a mafia state. These are warlords who are masquerading as politicians. And you can see that in the fact that here is this extraordinary country, a beautiful country, a country with one of the most ancient, fascinating, and incredible histories. And yet, decade after decade, year after year, these leaders have been essentially feasting off of the lifeblood off of this city. And they've ruined the economy, and now their incompetence, their negligence and neglect has led to this horrifying catastrophe. We've now learned that over the last 6 years, this ammonium nitrate, 2,750 metric tons of ammonium nitrate, was sitting on the port of Beirut. This is a small country. The port of Beirut is literally half a kilometer away from some of the busiest neighborhoods in this city. 2,750 metric tons. That ignited and caused all of this devastation. But the government knew. They knew it was there. They ignored the fact it was there, and they went on blithely with their lives, enriching themselves in any which way that they could, ignoring the fact that this ticking time bomb was sitting on that port because they were busy enriching themselves. And now we see the people who that they have been selected or elected to rule suffering in a way that this nation has never seen. And this is a nation that has seen a lot of suffering.
And people there will probably never know what happened. Imitiaz Tyab, good to talk to you. Thank you.